Hello and welcome to channel Duello. This video is intended for our English language viewers, as you can tell. And if you're following the channel, we had a tournament this weekend, which included mostly Turkish players. And we broadcasted the tournament on Twitch and added several videos in this channel as well. And you can especially view our final games. I uploaded it yesterday. But they're in Turkish language, so I wanted to add an English language video as well, so that you can understand what's going on. And this video will feature our third placement series. It will feature 3 games, and the decks are mostly meta decks, but there are several anti-meta decks which are still competitive and fun to play and watch. The game will feature Alp and Eyüp. Both are Turkish players. I didn't watch these games live because I was broadcasting the finals at the same time on Twitch. However, they were recorded by Zerknov, who is also one of our Team Duello member. He sent me the video and I'm gonna comment on the video. I didn't watch it, so it will be kinda live experience for me as well. I hope you like this video and the games included, and if you like them, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you want to, because I will be uploading English videos at least once a week or maybe twice a week. And see you at the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Okay, let's start with the first game, but before playing the play button, I'd like to talk about the decks that the players submitted and which decks they banned. Well, Alp brought in a Shield Wall deck and Slave deck and the Force of Nature deck, which is kind of unusual. Shield Wall deck is pretty much standard. Everyone is playing the same deck with Dornemir and Visigoda and 2 dual units and stuff, Queen Italia, and you can find the links, by the way, below. And the Enslave decks is combining Tactics and Hefty Helga Fire Scorpions with Masquerade Ball, and the Force of Nature deck is mostly a Thrive deck, but there is also Winter Queen Art Gaith, that Frost mechanic, but not and also Gales, and a little bit control tool with Frost and Parasite and Striga, and the Thrive cards, and also Force of Nature Leader ability has a pretty big point potential there as the finisher or something like that. Anyway, so those are the 3 decks that Alp brought in, and Eyüp is playing a Congregate deck. One of the decks is the typical Congregate deck, Swarm and Crime, and no interesting cards in it, the same cards that everybody uses. The Fruits of Yeskit deck is the deck that Busher is playing and made that deck popular. Just point slam after point slam, and there is no control option there. And it could be fun for others, but this is not my personal preference. But this deck wins you the game, so it's not a bad deck at all. And the final deck is Commando deck, and that Commando deck is kind of dangerous, and it's not an easy deck to play against if you don't have experience, and maybe that's why I banned that deck. So Eyüp's Commando deck was banned, and Eyüp banned the Shield Wall deck, which could be really problematic for him, and so that was a really good choice in my opinion. So those were the choices, and the first game is Alp is playing Force of Nature on red coin, and Eyüp is playing Congregate on blue coin, and this is really a great opportunity for Alp. I mean, that Thrive deck can win games on even if you're playing on red coin, and I mean, both decks love the red coin. Actually, most of the decks in Gwent right now love red coin, unfortunately. I mean, drawing red or blue coin really makes a lot of difference in the games. And we'll see who will come up with victory. Okay, let's take a look at the cards, and it looks like both players have balanced hands, a mix of bronzes and golds, but some cards are unplayable in the first round for both players, obviously. For Eyp, who's playing congregation lists, he probably will not use Helvete this round, I guess. And Alp has some unplayable cards like Ozrel and Oberon are really not preferable to play in the first round. Okay, since Eyüp is knowing that Alp is playing Devotion and has no answer to Fallen Knight, he, just plays it and plays tactical advantage over him without hesitation, which is the right move in my opinion. And here comes Gales and Arthgates. He wants to keep the pressure on Eyüp. And gets the Winter Queen out and threatens to win uneven, obviously. And some okay, and plays Congregation, but only gets 2 tokens instead of 3. And Alp is thinking about what to do. He has 3 Thrive units. He can keep playing and playing cards on the curve and keep hitting the Thrive curve. Catacomb comes into play, gets plenty of points, and now he's 7 points ahead of Eyüp, which is concerning for Eyüp. He probably doesn't want to use leader ability, but he uses the spawn card there. And there is still frost on both rows. And right now he's behind cards and behind points. Here comes Conqueror for big point boosts. 4 points from Thrive. Now it's a 15-point lead, which is huge, and Eyüp has to use Helvete and generates a lot of tokens, but still not enough to catch up with Alp. And Alp can pass here, and then Eyüp has to play a long route if he passes. But passing is not really a great option for monsters. You don't want to play a long round against them, even though you have lots of thrive and point potential in the long round. Still, Congregation is really good in a 10-card long round. And plays Spear Tip and gets some more thrive points. Now it's a 17-point lead. And will he pass and accept losing uneven, or play more cards? And he has to pass, I guess, and that's the right call in my opinion. And as we expected and anticipated, Alp wins uneven, even cards, and will probably push him. Eyüp draws a lot of good card here. He has no big Guardian Justice. He takes another mulligan and pulls Ulrich, which is really bad for him because Ulrich is a brick right now in his hand. Here comes Larvos. Okay, what would you do if you were Eyüp? I think going for Novigradian Justice is the right move. He has a lot of points and tries to intimidate his opponents into not continuing the round, but I mean he won uneven and he has to keep pushing until he gets all of the good cards from his hands and then play a really short round in the final round. Here comes Striga and kills the Intimidate engine, which is a really huge play, and now it's 9 to 5. Here comes Vivaldi Bank, and the options are really not that great. Will he get Furco? Yes, he does. And what will Furco draw? He already has destelerin, so he just kills one of the larvas, and he's trying to reduce as many Thrive engines as possible. Now it's 7-7 and uses one of the leader ability to get ahead of Alp in points. Here comes Wild Hunt Riders because he has dominance, which is really great for him, and also gets ahead by 7 points. That Ulri in Eypgngrn is really bad, and he can't produce a lot of tokens. I think he will go for Horsan Senior. Yes, he does. Horsan will bring a lot of points on the board, and he has 2 more crime cards. Okay, so Alp right now has some removal tools in Parasite, but will he use Parasite on one of the Bonded brothers or Horsan Senior? Or will he just, use Artgate? If he uses Artgate, the first wave will hit that 6 points, and he does. Even though there are no units on the range row, he has that Wild Hunt Bruiser, and he can push one of the units to the other row, which will probably be one of the Bonded guys there. And here comes another removal. Now it's 20-8, but Alp won uneven, so he needs to keep pushing. Here comes Wild Hunt Bruiser, and the Bonded ability will be gone, but he still has crime synergy here. But he only has 1 crime, and which is destelerin, and you don't want to use destelerin when the board is sort of empty. And has to use Sacred Flame, and still there aren't many Firestorm units, and he only has 1 charge remaining in the leader ability. The next wave of Frost will hit Shield, so fortunately for Eyüp, he won't lose points in this round. Here comes Ozrel for big points. Consumes Spear Tip and gets 13 and 1 point from Thrive, 14 points. Again, 10 points ahead of Eyüp. Eypgngrn is really bad, and he has to use that Congregation guy, and unfortunately instead of 12 he plays as a 6-point card. And Alp prefers to pass at this time, and he has huge advantage over Eyüp right now. It's not looking great for Eyüp. He has to play a short round, and the opponent has double last say. He could, concede right away actually. And he only has 1 leader ability left. He gets a Firestorm unit. He can keep Ulri if he wants to. Instead he throws away destelerin. And that's not great for him. There is no chance he can win this round. Red player is thinking about his mulligan choices. He's happy with his hand. It's gonna be easy for him. He has the full leader ability. He has Oberon. I mean, he can even play Eypgngrn as the second to last card. Okay, Eyüp finds Jack. Great card for short round, obviously, but that won't be enough. He plays Eypgngrn actually. I don't know. Maybe I should. If I were him, I would have played him second to last, because he could have another crime card in his hand, damage crime card. Okay, Ulrich spawns that cleric. Alp destroys the cleric. For now, Eyüp is leading the game by 19-13, but I think it's temporary. He plays the original cleric and gets some armored tokens. I wish he didn't send away the destelerin actually. That could have helped a lot here. Here comes Oberon. There is no Thrive unit, so Oberon is just for pure points right now. And he ties it 26 to 26, and then Eyüp plays his last card. There's only a 10-point lead, which won't be enough at all because the leader itself is 9 point. Here comes the leader. He doesn't really need to keep playing and passes and easily wins the game. Okay, so since Alp won the game with using that monsters deck, he can't play it anymore, so he needs to change his deck, and we'll see what will happen in the next round. This time Alp has really a good hand here. He has Helga and a lot of tactics to support it, and he drew coup de grace, which is great for him. And Eyüp has, as you see, two halfling safecrackers, Fallen Knight, two Fallen Knights, but no Ulrich, unfortunately for him. But those SafeLink half-crackers could produce a lot of points, because there are like 3, 4, 5 crimes in his hand. So we'll see what will happen. Up starts with the Magnet Division, obviously. Here comes the first safecracker. I believe he's gonna play the second one immediately after that. And if I was up, I would definitely play Helga right now, just to keep the pressure on the opponent early in the round. He needs to win this first round. You don't want to give round control to a congregation. Instead, he plays Diplomacy before playing Helga. That is an odd choice. I mean, if it was me, I would have played differently. Here comes Payday and kills the Magnet Division. He could have actually used tactical advantage on Magnet Division, even the first turn, because he doesn't have any answers to that. I mean, he doesn't have Toll Punish. He doesn't have Heat Wave or anything like that. Alp keeps playing the tactics without playing Hefty Helga. He must value his Helga really high. I don't know why he's doing that. Yeah, he's gonna save it for a better day, I guess. Here comes Mano and into that armor thingy card. And he has point advantage, but that advantage will go really quick if that Fallen Knight stays alive there, but uses Assassination immediately. Vivaldi Bank into who? Well, these are really juicy targets there. And he picks Novigradian Justice. He could have picked Ulrich, but I mean Justice is better, produces a lot of points and also thins the deck. And he still has 4 crimes to boost up that intimidating dwarf. Good play there by Eyüp. And he's threatening to win uneven. And Alp is already 5 points behind and just surrenders the round control, and also Eyüp wins uneven. So it's looking like a 2-0, but you'll never know. Right now, Alp has necessary tools to play Masquerade Ball in this round. He probably will have to, because obviously we will see a push. And Eyüp draws a lot of good cards. Those poison targets are really not great. And finally, Fallen Knight comes along and uses one of the leader charts. Well, that Fallen Knight could die easily, or just uses the leader ability immediately and plays Amnesty. Well, Eyüp can pass here. He won't lose his double say advantage. and opponent used the leader ability already, so he passes. So that long round should be safe for Eyüp, and he will have 2 last saves. So that makes sense, but he could have pushed for maybe Masquerade Ball, but no, we don't know what would have happened if he had pushed. Okay, Eyüp draws 3 gold cards. He needs to draw Fallen Knight right now to play with Ulri, which he doesn't yet, but he can. Yeah, he has to send Ulri, otherwise that would be a brick, and yeah, gets shock, which is a big deal for him. And as you see, Alp has really a high quality hand here. He can fully get advantage of Masquerade Ball because the opponent is playing Devotion and does not have any kind of removal for Masquerade Ball, which is Heat Wave. Here comes Payday to kill Magna Division, and that was an obvious play, and right now plays Fire Scorpion. He will probably play Hefty Helge after that, but as you see, there is only one tactic in his hand. I mean, if he used Helge in the first round, I mean, he would have won the round, I mean, but he lost uneven. I mean, those machines are really not that useful right now. And here comes Grand Inquisitor Helvete. And Helvete produces 3 Firestorm tokens. He can kill some of these tokens. Alp can kill them. Helge can kill one of them. But playing Masquerade Ball right now could be an idea also. Instead, he locks the Helvete and kills one of the tokens. He doesn't want Helvete to produce more tokens, but that's really not a big deal because he won't have room. He would probably prefer to use it on Jacques because he has a veil, but Jacques could be a victim of Vincent, obviously. Okay, here comes Excommunication and plays Smuggle, gets more coins and generates an armored token, and armored tokens are actually an upgrade for him because that Helges and Fire Scorpions pinks loses their value. Before playing Masquerade Ball, Alp prefers to play the Aristocrats, and he kinda loses value on his Thirsty Dame actually. I kinda criticize it for that. I mean, playing those spies early makes sense because you fill the roles and maybe he will not have room for playing any more units. Here comes Horsan Senior. Well, actually, he could have used Horsan Senior on that Joachim there, because that Joachim will be probably coup de grace, and that's what he does. Maybe he should have done that, you know. Okay, I mean, okay, let's see. Here comes the poison. That poison will go to the high-powered unit, 6-powered Horsan Senior. And one of the clowns is gone. Congregation. And then Masquerade Ball finally comes. Will he have room to play Usurper right now? And we'll see if Eyüp will play around that. He doesn't. Could he have filled the back row? Yeah, he could have actually with playing that artifact. Here comes another poison, and Usurper gets those agents back, and Thirsty Dame goes up to 7. Here comes Sacred Flame. Looks like there is a lot of point difference there. And he also has one leader ability left. But that destelerin will produce a lot of points for Eyüp. Here comes Vincent killing the Jacques with Veil. And that poison goes to Helvete, which is doing nothing. Well, obviously, he could play Procession of Penance, or could play destelerin actually. If he plays destelerin, he won't lose value on Procession of Penance, so I think that's a good call there. And he can use the artifacts. It wouldn't have mattered if he did or not there. And Roderick into who Fionn brings more points. And also 2 points for Hefty Helga there. And Helga will kill one of the units. And that 8 coin is going to waste. Unfortunately for Eyüp. But he wins the game anyway. You see, Eyüp goes first. He's on blue coin and playing Thrive deck. And Thrive deck does not really have major problems with going with blue coin. And the Ensaved deck loves playing on red coin, so it is really an advantage for Alp in this case. So let's see what they draw here. As we look at Eyüp's deck, I mean, he has a strong Thrive curve there, just trying to make the hand better. Now he has 2 larvas, not many goats, so it's really a nice distribution. And what about Alp's deck? He already has Masquerade Ball, so that deck could have problems with drawing Masquerade Ball, obviously. It's good that he has it already. And he has 2 siege engines, which are Hefty Helge and Fire Scorpion. They're both in his hand, and actually not many tactics to go with them. Only I'm seeing 2, and if you count Mano, it's only 3 tactics. And 2 Magna divisions, I mean, having them really sucks. He's on red coin, he doesn't need any of them. So that sucks. If it would have been better to have just one. Okay, anyway, Eyüp starts with the Endraga larvas, obviously, and the obvious play is putting one of the Magnas there. And the second larva set comes along, which spells trouble for Alp prefers to not play the Fire Scorpion or the Hefty Helga. Instead he plays the second Magna division, and now smartly Eyüp moves the other one next to the previous one, so they are both locked in the same row and don't produce any points at all. And here comes Fire Scorpion, and Eyüp keeps playing the Thrive curve. Now he has 5 Thrive engines. It's really impossible to deal with at this moment. Alp goes for Amnesty and steals one of the larvas, but will that be enough? I mean, I'm not seeing a huge points potential there. Eyüp uses his leader ability and then proceeds to thin out his deck. And there really is no point to continue playing, and if I was Eyüp, I would have passed 1 turn earlier actually. Because of that, Eyüp thinned his deck. I mean, okay, let's keep going, and that Amnesty could have been useful in the next round. Okay, Eyüp throws one of the Conquerors and gets a Bruxa, and kept drawing bronze cards, but that's okay, it's the second round. And what about Alp? Alp drew his defender and is throwing away one of the tactics here. I'm not sure if it's a really good choice, and gets a worse tactic and throws that away also, and got a aristocrat. So if Eyüp pushes the round, Alp can counter it and win the round, but I'm pretty sure he is gonna have to use Masquerade Ball to counter the bleed, and it's gonna be really difficult for him to get the last round if he uses the Masquerade Ball. And let's see if he's gonna have to play it or not. And Hefty Helge, supported by only Mano and Fionn, and they're not tactics, but at least they bring tactic cards with them. So, but that's not enough to get value from Hefty Helge. And here comes the Necker boys as the first obvious play here. What will Alp do here? If I was him, I'd probably play the Hefty Helge. I don't think there is any card that can remove Helge here. Instead, he plays Fionn, and since Fionn is using battle preparation, Alp already lost 2 points on Hefty Helge, and I mean the tournament is open decks, and Eyüp can't do anything about any of Alp's threats, so he lost 2 points there. There's no question about it. He should have played Helge and then Fionn. As you see, the Griffin comes along, eats the fruit, and now the Thrive engines go up to 3. And by the way, he played Eypgngrn in the previous round. Eypgngrn is always a risky choice if you're playing against Nilfgaard, because of Yennefer's invocation, and Alp can anytime invocate Eypgngrn and then play it against Eyüp in the final round, and I think he's gonna do that right now. But there are a lot of juicy targets. It's not just Eypgngrn, but if you remove Eypgnrn, you kinda take value out of a probable Osrel, but Eypgnrn is not the only target for Osrel. As you see, he has Spear Tip, Goliath, a lot of big boys in his deck. Oh, okay, Alp takes his time and invocates Eypgnrn. Good call there, in my opinion. But he's still behind in points and hasn't played Masquerade Ball yet, so that's good for Alp. And another card to trigger the Thrive curve from Eyüp. He didn't need to think much about it. That deck doesn't really require much thinking anyway. Okay, so Mano comes along and he plays Tourney Joust and kills one of the Necker boys, and then with 4 damage accumulated on Hefty Helge, he kills the other Necker boy, and right now there is only 1 Thrive engine plus the leader, so 2 engines actually. As you see, Eyüp just plays there. He doesn't need to spend any time, just keeps playing to the Thrive curve. Right now, what will Alp do? He needs 16 points, no, I mean 13 points, and plays Joachim without playing the Masquerade Ball. But he knows what he is drawing, so it's Eypgnrn and it's fully protected behind Fionn. And all of a sudden, he is 5 points ahead of Eyüp. Eyüp should keep pushing, in my opinion. He needs to get the Masquerade Ball out of him. And plays Goliath. Goliath is mostly safe from anything actually, but he could have 2 poisons. And if he kills Goliath, what will he get? And that's what he's checking. And that would be Usurper, and you don't want Usurper actually. So killing Goliath is really not a great idea. Usurper will only deploy. I mean, he will not deploy, so he will spawn, so it will only be a 6-point play. And I think he's playing Roderick now and risking the Masquerade Ball. Roderick into coup de grace, and he will replay Joachim, and we'll see who will be coming along. And another aristocrat here. So the deck is kind of running out of aristocrats right now. There really isn't a solid target to lock, so he plays him into melee row and bleeds one of the units, and then uses the leader ability and gets a 50 to 38 lead here. That's quite good in my opinion, but right now he is out of Joachim and only has one aristocrat. And I think he doesn't have any aristocrats left in the deck, does he? Yeah, I think mission accomplished for Eyüp. Okay, I mean, he lost his card advantage, but as you see, there are two big boys in his hand. That's a lot of points and great short round potential. It won't matter, I mean, if he loses his card advantage or not, and there's no point in keep playing here. But he plays anyway and gets ahead of Alp. Kind of a questionable move, but that's my preference actually. He's probably gunning for Masquerade Ball, but I mean, we see the hands obviously. That's a big, advantage for us. He poisons the Spear Tip, and he could have another poison, and Eyüp doesn't know that yet, but he's gonna keep pushing. And Ozrel only brings 8 points, actually. I mean, consumes an 8 powered unit. So he went all in. And an easy Vincent for him. But the Masquerade Ball is alone there, and I don't think he has any aristocrats left. Maybe just one more Lamb Hunter. So it's not possible to trigger Masquerade Ball anymore. And a lot of bad cards coming. For the Thrive player, Eyüp drew better, as you see. And what? Okay. So Masquerade Ball only has one target, which is Usurper. Yeah, I forgot about him. And Usurper will bring a agent, so he will have 2 poisons, so he can complete at least the poison package. So he won't be able to trigger the final chapter of Masquerade Ball. But that's a really good hand in my opinion. And he has card advantage, and we'll see if that will be enough. And Eyüp has Nagelfar, so he's gonna draw another gold card. And since I'm commenting, okay, as you see, there's plenty of gold cards to choose from, and he'll probably look for Oberon here. And by the way, that was an easy play, Striga into and Thirsty Dame, which is really bad news for Alp, because that would have been a huge point potential, and that's gone. Okay, he chooses Oberon. I mean, the chances of drawing Oberon was quite high, so that's not a luck situation. Yeah, he only has one Thrive engine, but that Thrive worked twice, and got an additional point because Oberon brought a Wild Hunt unit there. Now it's 0 to 16. Here comes Fang, poisoning the only unit possible there. He can't poison Oberon. I think he should have waited for... no, that doesn't matter actually. Usurper and poisons the 5 power unit. Unfortunately for Alp, that's not gonna be enough, and loses only by 1 point. And that was the end of the series. As you see, Eyüp beat Alp after trailing by 1-0. He took the lead by taking the last 2 games. So good for him, and I congratulate him for finishing the tournament on 3rd place, and also congratulate Alp for making it here and playing and making it into semi-finals, which is a big deal in my opinion, after beating all the opponents. And thanks for everyone who participated in this tournament, even though we had plenty of technical difficulties, I gotta admit that. And see you in the next Duello video, and take care and bye.